Windsurfing is not an easy sport to film. There's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of elements going on, the wind, the water, and everyone else. And often some of the best conditions you find aren't anywhere near the shore, they're a lot further out. So actually having a camera person sitting on the shore can be very hard to facilitate. In a dream world, we'd have someone in a boat or flying a drone chasing after us. And a huge thanks to the guys that film the clips you're looking at right now for doing exactly that. But it's just not always possible. So as you've probably seen from this channel, I use Insta360. I've been using the latest one each year as the X series progresses, the 360 cameras that you're looking at right now. Fully immersive, film everything, and I can worry about the focus and where we're looking at later on. And I think it gives a pretty great view, not just out the front, which is the front shot you're looking at now. This is mounted on a FlyMount Duo. But also all the other places I've had it mounted around the kit at different times. Now, FlyMount and Insta360 make some pretty amazing and super versatile mounts and clamps and sticks. But as you may have noticed, I've got a number of homemade, slightly cowboy and rogue looking things I've done as well. A lot of them involving tape in various different places and extra screws and loads of different stuff going on. But they're still all fixed onto the kit. So getting that third person view from a cameraman, but without a cameraman, and somewhere that maybe camera people can't get to, that's what I was hoping to get. That is what I'm going to show you guys how to make right now for only the cost of a swimming pool noodle. So out here at Vassiliki, that's €5. That's all I spend on top of the normal bits and bobs that I've got already to make this view that you've got right now. So out of all the different mounts and attachments that I've made and that I use, this is probably the simplest one, definitely the cheapest one that I've made. There's not really much to it apart from your normal selfie stick that I'm going to assume you have if you've got an Insta360 camera, and not even a whole pool noodle, but a bit of one. I used about 20 centimeters, and it's super simple. All you're going to do is cut the noodle in half and stick it onto that extendable selfie stick. I then grabbed a sunglasses pouch, filled it with some rocks, and tied it onto the bottom of the selfie stick. So then you've got the float nearest to the top, keeping it buoyant, and then those rocks pulling it down like a little anchor. To allow me to carry it and get out to the mooring, I retracted the selfie stick, make it a bit smaller, stuck the rocks in my pocket, or I guess you could just leave them off and dangling. And then I had a little piece of bungee that I put on the top and the bottom of the noodle. That kind of kept it in place as well, allowed me to extend it up a little bit above the water. The very close to the water view looks pretty amazing. It's kind of like that domed housing videographer look. But I also quite like raising it up and you get a clearer view of the skills and what it is I'm actually talking about or doing as I come by. And then very simply, tie it onto a mooring, tie it onto whatever you can find, and windsurf up and down. Windsurf around, windsurf as close as you want to it. And you get this awesome floating third person look. We realized pretty soon after that actually there isn't anything officially made by these brands, Insta360 obviously being the biggest and best. I couldn't find one anywhere that was actual floating specific mount that you can film from. A lot of them have floating options so you don't lose the camera if you drop it, but they're not designed to keep the camera above the water. And that's where this little hack, if you like, this little trick, is a bit of a game changer. And we went through a few prototypes to get to the one we're at. I've seen a few different models around online already, and then the two Wills that are based here at the surf school made a couple of different prototypes that worked. They were just a little bit cumbersome, if I'm honest, a little bit tricky to get out to where you want it to film. And that's where sort of honed it into the model we're currently looking at. Selfie stick with a pool noodle, the cheapest, most versatile and easy to carry around floating 360 camera mount. And obviously it's not just for windsurfing, it's for anything that involves going back and forth in front of something that you might want to film. So you could just throw it in a pool and play some volleyball or have a bit of fun around it. Maybe you're kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, wakeboarding. I think it'd be a wicked one if you could just sit it on somewhere, wakeboard past or jump over it. And it doesn't actually have to be tied onto anything, of course, as well. One of these sessions, I just let it drift and followed it on a bit of a downwind route and then picked it back up again when I thought I'm far enough downwind. The pool noodles are pretty clear where they are. You can see it very obviously. Anyway, good hack. I'm always on the lookout for more tips and advice on how to use cameras, but you'll find many more specifically around Insta360, as well as a link to everything you need to get the Insta360 camera and actually to save a bit of money on it as well. There's various different products and freebies that are getting thrown in when you use that link in the description of this video. So please click on that link down below. And yes, it is an affiliate link. Yes, you are buying me a beer every time you use it to buy something. So thank you very much. And of course, a big thank you for clicking like and subscribe at the bottom of this video as well. And I'm off the plane, slowing down. See you elsewhere on the channel very soon.